Hello, Kimball Creek partners and friends. This last week, I had the opportunity to talk with April Sage. Now, April is the founder of Senior Housing Advisory Services, and her specialty is helping people craft individual plans for their next phase of housing. Now, whether that's senior or age-based communities or more intensive memory care options, April had a wealth of experience and insight. She was really fun to talk to, and it was very informative. I wanted to record some of our conversation and make that available to you as a resource. I mean, you know how much we like planning, and we always think it's good to be thinking about the next steps. We broke our conversation down into 3 parts to make the videos a little more digestible. It starts with lower levels of care where it's just kind of an age-based, fun community to be a part of, all the way up to more intensive solutions where you need like a skilled nursing facility. Feel free to skip to the part that's right for you or your loved one, and I hope you find it a valuable resource. April, one of the real drivers behind wanting to have you come and have this conversation was I felt like I kept having other conversations with clients where they were talking about mom or dad and saying, wow, it's really, their mind's starting to slip, like, we don't feel like they're safe on their own, and we need to get them into a skilled facility, a skilled community. Wow, I just can't get past that, can I? What's your advice for the kids, the second generation that's thinking of mom and dad? What's your general advice when they're thinking, okay, my parents need more help? Where do they start?
Well, there are plenty of services that they can hire for in-home support. However, I will say, a lot of people don't want strangers in the home. Mm-hmm. They don't, and for many, it is a badge of honor and pride to do their own laundry, to meal prep, to clean themselves.
Yeah.
And we have to honor that to a certain degree. But if there's some cognitive challenges, as you had mentioned, it is important to have some eyes and ears in that environment, supporting them, ensuring that they continue to be successful in certain things. Maybe just a look at the medication, or a follow-up to see what's in that fridge, and an encouragement to get them out to take care of those things, or to find a solution to whatever they hear is possibly happening in the environment. So you can start by just baby steps, eyes and ears and support. And then, of course, the assisted environment. If a person is failing to remember things, as we age, our brains just aren't as snappy as, some people are blessed with some really amazing abilities and fully able to account for everything. But by and large, most people, that slips a bit. That doesn't mean instant memory care, which is a blessing. A lot of these assisted living places, they offer a memory care light. As long as someone is still engaging and doing things that are safe and not exit seeking, then keeping them in an environment where they can still use their own, have their own routine, come and go as, now I'm tripping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tripping on my words.
Now I'm tripping. Sorry, I thought you meant did you mean tripping on your words or tripping like an elderly person is tripping?
I'm tripping on my words.
Oh, I thought you meant like a person.
No, so I mean, as long as they're able to work with just being redirected,
okay,
then keep them in that area of the building as long as possible. Moving them to memory care, that's for people who are really truly unsafe. There's behavioral challenges that are not good for the general population, but also, that exit-seeking confusion level where they literally will get lost.
So these intensive kind of care facilities are really when there's they can't take care of themselves from the standpoint of like, they're not feeding themselves, or they're not, able to use the bathroom, or those kind of things, or if it's unsafe, right? Like their mind's slipping to the point that they don't know where they are, or they get lost, or those kind of things.
Yes.
And how long can a person stay in a facility like that, or in a community like that? Someday.
How long can they stay? Well, Oftentimes it is statistically stated that it's about 2 years, but in
Okay.
truth, I have seen people live in that environment for 8, 9, 10 years.
Wow.
It just depends. You know, there are so
Yeah.
many possibilities.
Yeah. And what would be, you know, because the concern that clients always have, they want to make sure mom and dad is getting the best possible care.
Of course.
You know, you're taking somebody that's in a very vulnerable state and you're taking them to a place where you leave them, right? How do you know that they're getting good care? Is it all based off reputation? How do you know when you leave that somebody's loving your loved one as much as you do,
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
Well, it's funny because, you know, sometimes they love them more.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, that's a whole nother subject matter. I will say that reputation is important. I will also say that along with that, there is an ebb and flow in what the environment is like. So, you know, I've had clients where they have started in a really great property, but for whatever reason, it has gone downhill. You know, something has changed. You know, the lead nurse leaves and takes 10 of her best people. You know, there are things that can affect the environment. So I tell my clients, please keep eyes and ears out.
Yeah.
Keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening. Pay attention when you're there. Don't just come in, visit your loved one in their apartment, and then leave. It would be wise to enjoy the property with your loved one so you kind of get an idea of how it's going. But it's also really healthy for your loved one to get out there with you. Create
Sure.
memories out there in the common spaces, the movie theater, or, you know, creating crafts with them.
Yeah.
It's really great.
And what does it cost to be in a facility or a community where it's a really intensive level of care?
So I would say that the average price starts at about $8,000,
8,000 a month.
and it
yeah.
works its way up.
Yeah.
So the top line that I've experienced with my clients is at about $13,000 at this time.
Okay.
And I will tell you that there are typically annual increases to price, anywhere
Right.
from 3 to 5%. I've seen it go a little bit higher lately, but by and large, the average has always been about 3 to 5% increase.
Good to know.
Yeah.
April, thank you. This is what April does all day long, and it's been fascinating to have her come in and talk to us about that. If you have any questions, Senior Advisory Service,
Senior Housing.
Senior Housing Advisory
It's a
Services
mouthful.
here in Tacoma. I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.